Okay, I'm Arfandy. As a representative of the leader of opposition, will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, this motion is talk about this house will require individuals to pass a political general knowledge test in order to vote. So, what this motion is talking about? This motion is talk about the test that need to be taken of the community or society in order as a term to vote. And this test is about the political general knowledge. With the mechanism are, when it's time to vote or the election time, they need to take this test, and if they fail, they could try in the next election era or 3 or 5 years later. I think this will bring another impact to the election era, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because there are 3 major points that I want to deliver why we want to oppose this motion. The number 1, we believe that it is not justifiable enough to the society because they didn't have the same educational knowledge. Somehow, this is some kind of border the society to fulfill their right as the democracy people who live in a democratic country, ladies and gentlemen, because they didn't have again the same educational knowledge. They didn't have to be border with this kind such of tests, ladies and gentlemen. Their human right. This is a natural human right as the society to choose whether they need to follow their heart to choose their option, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of terms. Could limited their right to use limited their right to choose their own right in voting, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is not justifiable in remembering that this is the status quo. The government even didn't give to all the citizens the same knowledge about the political general knowledge. I think if the government need to want to apply this term, they need to provide the society also with the same kind of knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. And the second is, in the status quo, golput still exists in every election section because the society think that they didn't have time to attend this kind of election. That's why we think this kind of terms, taking the test is have another time, and they need to or even they need to taking the test they need to practice to use their right in using phone, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. The status quo nowadays, we didn't apply this kind of term, right? But still there's a golput existed in the election section because they didn't have their time to attend in this kind of election. So for the government side, that's why we think that this is kind of test will more complex to apply in as a term in our society, ladies and gentlemen. This kind of complexity not only for the society but also in the government side. For the government side, it means that they need to provide a proper panel to judge the society whether they need to pass the test or not. And in the economical side, we believe that it needs more budgeting even though those election is already need more budgeting, right? So in other words, we think that this kind of election we will spend another budgeting that budgeting rather than it's supposed to. For example, this kind of extra budgeting could be spent in another kinds of budgeting that will help more society residents. For example, infrastructure. We could fix the road, making a proper bridge in the village. That I think this is kind of development needs to be more budgeting, and because the society can give the direct impact, this kind of development can deliver directly impact. We think Indonesia is still not prepared for this kind of terms, ladies and gentlemen. As a solution, we want to offer this kind of proposal that actually we think will work more effective. Rather than giving them such a task that more complex to conduct, we think that it is more better for giving the society knowledge by socialization before the election section attend. And the mechanism is we give them the understanding to the general society about the political general knowledge and determine the right decision. I think this is more effective by the society because they can gain the new knowledge as a basis knowledge for the society in democratic country, right? So if we give them the same knowledge before the election time, ladies and gentlemen. So I think this proposal will tackle down the point of this side of the house that say that the problem that we need to fix by taking this test is we think that society not eligible enough on education of knowledge about the political general knowledge, and they think the people who already mastered in those knowledge didn't share their knowledge in the general society. So we can deliver this proposition as the we deliver this proposal as the solution that will work more efficient than the solution by taking this kind of test. So we give them the socialization that delivered by the people who mastered in these kinds of measures treatment. And for making it efficient, we give them by the people who mastered in those regions, so it's more conducive to conduct, ladies and gentlemen. So why we think, in the end of the day, this could be more helpful for those people who choose determine the right decision without just following their heart, but also they know how the political it works, and in the end of the day, this kind of political knowledge, general political knowledge, become a basis knowledge to our society. So this is also a successful make Indonesia as democracy country who attempt the same kinds of knowledge and have the same knowledge about the political, that is their right to know this such kind of knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that's all. Thank you.